Hey, Ed here from 10,000 Foot View, and I've got another Google Ads quick tip for you today. Just before I jump in, a reminder to please like our content and subscribe to the channel. We post about Google Ads at least once every week. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about an issue that affects a lot of advertisers, and that is when you have a PMAX campaign with runaway bad leads or bad conversions. And what tends to happen is that kind of stream of bad leads feeds upon itself and grows like a domino effect. And there are a few different reasons why that happens. But one of the first best things to do is make sure that your conversion tracking is nailed down before you run PMAX, before you run any campaigns for that matter, but really for PMAX in particular. And that means avoiding things such as click-to-call conversion actions on your landing page, where you can easily get a lot of false positives, but also open-ended, simple, like submit your email address type of conversions, where it's really low-hanging fruit for bots and bad people to generate a lot of leads when they're trying to do click fraud. But in some cases we see it's not even click fraud, it's really invalid conversions. And I will show you an example today of where we had that issue where we started working with a prospect and they actually had this issue with kids videos, generating a lot of false conversions and then it feeding upon itself and driving more and more YouTube videos designed for kids. So anyway, that's the first step. Clean up your conversion tracking. Make sure that your conversion actions are going to be valid, that you're going to avoid false positives. So once you identify an issue, so it's like, hey, we're getting a bunch of fake leads, we're getting a bunch of call hangups, whatever those things are on the client side. You need to start, in fact, you should be doing this anyway, but you need to start looking at your placements reports as the first step and see if there's a trend towards a specific type of placements. They could be websites that are like around a certain theme, or they could be videos around a certain theme. So you can have a look. And in this case, it was actually videos, and you can see that these are all really like oriented towards kids. So how do you tackle that? So there's a few different things you can do. So the first thing is to try and identify and block a theme, right? And so I'm going to actually jump into I've jumped into the content suitability section, and this is really where you're going to start to tackle bad placements. And so the first thing is I recommend for PMAX to limit your inventory. This setting to be more aggressive to start. I mean, if you're kicking butt with PMAX, by all means, you want to set it to standard, okay. But I always start with limited inventory. Then the next thing you want to do is just get rid of any sensitive content. You just don't want to be running on that, and it may or may not be related to the actual bad placements you're getting, but I would just block these anyway. And then there's a few under types and labels, and depending on your website content, you may want to be more or less aggressive here, but these are the ones that I block pretty much for every client. And then now, so based on the type of content that's generating the problem, you might choose to use content keyword exclusions, right? So kids, birthday, baby, kindergarten, you might have brands like Mickey Mouse in here, toys. You can go through and start killing that with content keyword exclusions. Usually you won't get all of it and you'll probably keep chasing, but it's a good place to kill a lot of it. And then the other thing you can do, of course, is placements, right? So in the case of videos, you can actually identify all of those placements that are driving a high volume of traffic and just block those. Now, if it turns out that it's coming from apps, if you're getting a lot of app placements, you can go ahead and block all the app categories. And in fact, A lot of advertisers do that by default. I don't necessarily do it for all advertisers, but that definitely, kill apps. And the problem with apps is you get a lot of accidental clicks. And if you get an accidental click on the app and an accidental click on the click to call, then Google will serve more and more ads to those apps. So, you can block specific apps, or you can just block all the categories if it's really, you're getting a lot of spam. And between all of those things, you should be able to kill the vast majority of it. If you are getting bad conversions through search, you can go the extra step and block keywords on that PMAX campaign or across the account for in your account level keywords exclusions, noting you only have 1,000 that you can add there, so it is a bit limited. But between these different measures, you should be able to kill it. The other thing you can do is turn off URL expansion. Just it'll tighten up your matching between targeting and website content for your landing pages. It'll help a bit. And if this doesn't work, go scorched earth, just stop the PMAX campaign, create a new one, but make sure that you do fix your conversion tracking before you do that. Otherwise, you're just going to go through the same cycle again. But if you do fix your conversion tracking, start a new campaign, already have the exclusion set up, then it kind of just sets up, hey, this is a fresh start, and you won't already have bad conversions driving Google to run ads on bad placements. Anyway, that's how we do it. We did it with this client, and it took about 3 weeks of continually adding more steps. But eventually we got on top of it, and we're not really getting any traffic from those kids videos anymore. We did remove the click to call conversion action as well. And that was probably the biggest step, but all this other stuff kind of added. So hopefully if you are seeing, just a bunch of bad leads or bad conversions or just bad content that Google is serving to, these are some steps you can take to address that. So that is it for today. I hope you found this tip useful, and I will see you next time.